Three. All right. All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here with a recap. Last week we did the AFC and some players that we think are going to be overvalued. This week we come with our draft results for our family league. We come with who we think is going to win the NFC divisions, as well as sleepers that you can find in your draft. How you doing today?
I'm great. Yourself?
I couldn't be better. It could not be better.
So, real quick, not only sleepers, are we talking about guys that maybe you thought were overdrafted or I thought were overdrafted?
Yeah, I said that. I
Okay.
I
Okay.
think. I don't know. My mind's just on K9.
It's a great pick. Huh.
Yes.
What round do you think K9 should go in?
I think the second.
Okay. Well, we'll find out where he went and who drafted him.
Sounds good.
Um, but other than that, let's go. Hopefully, we get some great questions like we did last week.
Agreed. Which topic would you like to start out with? You want to go
Let's start
NFC?
off with the NFC teams.
All right, perfect.
Uh, and we will leave the best division in football for last.
Agreed.
So, NFC South. Okay, you've got Tampa, you've got Carolina, you've got the Saints,
Yep.
and you've got who is the fourth team?
The Bucks.
That's Tampa.
Oh, Falcons.
Tampa Saints,
Atlanta.
yeah,
Atlanta.
Tampa Saints, Falcons, Carolina. So, did you watch any of the Falcons game tonight
Yeah, I
for
did.
preseason?
Jonah Coleman looked dang good and got subbed out 4 carries in.
And just for those that are listening, Falcons playing Denver, and that's why he's Landon is saying Jonah Coleman. Tua, what are your thoughts on him?
Man, I'm an Oregon fan, but I can't keep backing this guy up. He looks flustered. No matter what's coming at him, he looks flustered.
I mean, Tua just
Oh, hey, Ian's in here.
oh, is he in?
Yeah.
Okay. The Ian or just a Ian? I guess that could be the same Ian.
Ian.
What up, E?
What up, bro?
Why don't you jump on and call in?
Yeah, you want to join or what? You got to join our Discord. But yes, carry on.
So Tua, you know, he's got talent, and it's either him or Penix.
I'm sorry, I'm not
And
trying to laugh, but you said join and he said pause. Okay, so
so
go ahead.
Tua has some talent, but I don't know if he's gun shy. And as we were talking about when you were setting up the call, preseason is tough to tell. It's Denver's defense is good. I don't need the pause from you guys again. So Denver's defense is good, but you don't see many of the starters. And so you would hope to see Tua, if he's going to be starting, to show a little bit more. If Tua is going to be the starter and Penix isn't, I don't know what that says about Penix. And if Penix is the starter and Tua isn't, because Penix really hasn't even played much in preseason or in camp due to coming back from this injury, what is it going to do to Bijan and what is it going to do to London?
London, I'm more concerned about, just because the quarterback play is subpar. But at the same time, with Penix, London was still serviceable. He was still a wide receiver one. He's gonna get his red zone targets. He really has no competition on the outside. It's literally London and then
Pitts.
yeah, Pitts really. And then Tua, I'd be more concerned with London, whereas Bijan, I think Bijan's going to be much better with Tua than he will Penix, just because we know Tua just loves to check down. I think HN had 5.6 to 5.8 receptions per game with Tua under center. Bijan and him are the same exact player. I know people are going to say Bijan's much better, but Bijan may be better, but athletically speaking, they're both, in my opinion, super athletic, and I just think with Tua under center, Bijan's just gonna thrive.
So with Tua, did he check down a lot at Alabama? Did he check down a lot at uh, before Mike Daniels came in? And is that a Mike Daniels thing? Or because everybody talks about how Mike Daniels with Herbert can really improve the running backs
Yeah.
in Los Angeles. So is that a Tua thing? Do you think it's now reprogrammed him as a QB, or do you think that that has just that's the way he plays, and Bijan's going to gain traction from that? Because if so, let's talk about HN a little bit later and how that's going to affect him.
I think, I mean, personally, you had Jordan James, you had Bucky Irving, and you had, I think Bucky's freshman year was when Tua came out, so he was still like that third down back. Jordan James was there. Obviously, he wasn't much, but that freshman year, Tua was dunking it off in Oregon and then proceeded to do so in Miami as well. So I think I think it's more of a Tua thing than it is Mike McDaniel, but or Mike McDaniels, he does thrive on that offensive play calling, but he's programmed Tua into someone that if you don't have any options, check down to your closest receiver. Waddle's freshman or not freshman, Waddle's rookie year, he I believe broke Odell's record for most receptions. I could be wrong on that stat, but I believe he broke Odell's record on rookie receptions. And Waddle's not a deep threat target. He's down the middle. He's closer to the line of scrimmage and let him get those yak yards. So I think I think it's more of a Tua thing than it is Mike McDaniel's, but obviously Mike McDaniel's helps open up for the number one play caller.
Okay. Okay. So then with that said, who do you think who are your top two teams in the South?
Saints number one. I think Saints win the division. And which if you guys want to bet on that, I think the odds are pretty good. But and then I'd probably put I mean the Panthers secondary is just so good. It just depends on Bryce Young. I'd probably go the Panthers and then the Bucks and then the Falcons.
Okay, so we agree on the Falcons. Panthers, I can't buy in. I think it's going to be between Tampa and the Saints. And I said this with the AFC teams because both those offenses could be high powered. It's going to come down to the defense. And if the Bucks trade Vita, that's going to hurt their run game. Saints had a decent defense last year. So it's let's see if they can keep improving. But I think their offense, it's going to come down to if Tyson, depending on which time he misses, because if you have a real threat opposite of Olave, I think that's really going to help. Otherwise, you're going to see a lot of run game, and I think that's going to have ETN and Kamara. I am going to enter this season with a 50-50 in mind, see how the first couple of weeks go, and see if Kamara, because I know he's going to go with the hot hand. And Kamara knows the offense. ETN really is not a between the tackles guy. He's more of an outside guy. But Kamara's lost the speed, so we will see how that affects. But to make my pick, I think I agree with you. Saints win it. Tampa gets second place.
Yeah. I'm higher than I know a lot of people on the Saints.
Okay. North.
Man,
the Lions.
Yeah, what a
the
division.
Vikings, the Bears, and Green Bay. Start that one off.
The North is just like the West in my opinion, but just not as consistent. Um, if the Lions stay healthy, I got to give it to the Lions, but the Lions have not stayed healthy. They just haven't. Uh, so I think the Lions' offense is the best offense in that division, but they have a new offensive coordinator, if I am correct. I believe they have a new offensive coordinator. So, with that being said, I'd probably have to give the edge to the Bears just due to the fact that Ben Johnson's offensive scheme is just so good. And I'm going to put my money on Ben Johnson, where Caleb Williams, yes, I know if you don't know, he was third worst completion percentage last year at 56%. 56% for Caleb Williams. And that is not good at all, but he's also under Ben Johnson, who schemes like crazy. Second year with a high powered offensive coordinator. I think he's going to be settled in. Luther Burden has potential to miss the first couple weeks. Hopefully not, but if he does, that's going to change Caleb Williams. But if Luther Burden's healthy, Rome Odunze is healthy, and Levlin with Swift in the backfield, that's going to be such a high-powered offense. I think the biggest thing that it comes down to is we know Goff doesn't scramble. We know the Packers are very good, but I just feel like the Packers just don't have as much high-powered personnel as the Bears and Lions do. So that's why I'm not going with them. The Vikings have a very good defense, but they don't have a quarterback. I know Kyler just got announced as a starting quarterback, but coming from the NFC West, we know what Kyler is. I think Caleb Williams is the most mobile quarterback in that division out of the teams that I think could succeed, and I think that's what's going to give them the edge is the wheels that Caleb Williams has, because it gives them a second dimension, whereas Goff, he's never going to scramble, and Jordan Love, he may scramble, but his turnovers just kill him. So I think that's what it comes down to. I feel like the Bears are more complete with more. They can go in different routes, whereas the other two teams are more stagnant and they're relying on one or two playmakers.
So are you saying Bears, Lions?
Bears, Lions, Packers, Vikings.
Okay. Yes, the Lions have a new offensive coordinator. It's the offensive coordinator from the Arizona Cardinals last year. So you will see Laporta, and I don't know if McBride was the number one because of his talent, or because of his talent mixed with the lack of talent elsewhere. You will see Gibbs at the beginning of the season. It was in Arizona last year. It was James Conner as their lead back, and they fed him and they fed him and they fed him. And then once they lost him and then everybody else started getting injured, they tried to have a lead back until they just realized you just got to get what you can out of the running back game. So that's going to help Gibbs on the offensive side. I believe Amon-Ra will be the McBride. The reason I say that, I know it's two different positions, but he's their best receiver. I think you'll see Williams used as a field stretcher to open up the run game, but I don't know if he's going to be as consistent because he's really not been consistent anyways, but he's not going to be as consistent as he was. And then Laporta, I think we will find out if it's really a McBride thing or not in the preseason, how much he uses the tight ends. Laporta, though, is coming back from a back injury, so it's going to be a two-man show there. Kind of like it will be in Chicago if Burden misses any time, which will be Loveland and Swift, I think, will be more of a catching. Rome will try to be put into it, but the two defenses, neither are really great. So it's going to be high-powered, and that's where it comes in. If you can just you brought up the 56 to 58% pass completion.
Yeah.
If you can just get that up to 65,
Yep.
which is still not great, but 65% really improves Caleb, which then you have to trust the passing game, which then can open up his run game, his and Swift and Monangai. But I really agree with. I would not be surprised if Green Bay takes fourth instead of Minnesota. Kyler still has. He's only 28, so he still has legs to use. But he cannot, or we have not seen him support two receivers. And Justin Jefferson's going to get his. Their running backs, who knows? You're hearing a lot of positive on the burst that Jordan Mason, thank you. I knew Mason Jordan didn't sound right. Jordan Mason, you hear a lot of positive on his burst in camp, but Aaron Jones, what is he, 32? Damon Claiborne, you've heard some good things, but if you look at how they used him the other night, he really didn't get much playing time. So I don't know if that's because he's got the third running back locked in, or the third down running back locked in, and maybe they didn't use him. I just don't trust really either one of those run games. So I think Kyler and Justin Jefferson will be a nice fantasy piece. But yes, we're talking about winning the division, and I think it's Chicago and Detroit will be fighting for that. Ultimately, I think Chicago, if Caleb can get that up to 65 or higher percent completion.
So you think that's what it comes down to?
I do, because if you look at a lot of their games were won in the fourth quarter last year.
Yeah.
And I think they had 3 overtime wins, and then some fourth quarter wins, but you can't rely on those. It's kind of like what we briefly discussed I think we discussed it with Denver last year. What was it? They were leading going into the fourth quarter, and they had to come back and win a lot of those, or losing in the fourth quarter on some of those. They had to come back and win some, and I don't think they can win, 14 out of 15? I don't think they won 14 games last year.
Denver?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So being able to pull all those out in the fourth quarter, and that's what Chicago did, I think it's going to come into that too.
Okay.
Which is really a defensive battle thing, because they're what was it, the Chicago and Pittsburgh game, I think it was, last year?
Chicago and Pittsburgh. In terms of...
What was that one with the Chicago guy had that bonehead play and gave up the long bomb after, the DB was walking back and he was being kind of showboaty?
I think that was 2 years ago with Chicago. Yeah, because I had Jaden Daniels, and it was Chicago and the Redskins. Washington. But yes, and then I also have a second question for you. So you said you feel like it's going to be a two-headed monster in Detroit. Are you overlooking Jameson Williams, or do you just feel as if, or do you know a stat that you hadn't mentioned yet that maybe people are wondering, like, okay, well, Jameson Williams is there too, so why isn't it only a two-headed monster?
So I picked that due to the fact of the changing of the new offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And that's why I said it could be a personnel skill level type, but they really couldn't find a receiver opposite in Arizona, opposite of McBride, until later in the season when Wilson came alive. So I don't know if that is a personnel thing. And that's why I also mentioned we're going to see how the preseason does. Or if it is they just use a tight end and a running back.
Got you.
Which would help. That's why I said Amon-Ra would be the McBride role.
Got you. That makes sense. Because statistically, I know it's a new OC. Statistically, and I thought this is why you left it out, with Laporta on the field, Laporta is always the same. But with Laporta on the field, JMO is not good. With Laporta off the field, JMO is very good. Is that because of who was calling the plays, or is that strictly because JMO's just a third option to Jared Goff? So I do agree with you, everything you said. I do feel like with all the stats we have, I feel like it could potentially be between Amon Ra, Gibbs, and McBride. There's just so many good players on that team and athletic players on that
I mean,
team where
Laporta.
yes, Lynn Laporta, sorry.
No, you're
There's
good.
just so many athletic players on that team. It's just hard to get everybody active. It truly is.
So one thing that bugs me when I listen to football talk, fantasy talk, whatever, is when they talk about kind of like what we're discussing, and then a new offensive coordinator comes in, and they talk about, well, this player does this player does that, and that's why I said I don't know if it was a personnel thing or not, but it's tough to carry over when an offensive coordinator comes in and is calling the plays versus someone like an offensive coordinator. Well, I'll use Eric Bieniemy,
Yeah.
who a lot of people like as an offensive coordinator, but Andy Reid calls the plays. So do we look at players and what they do, or do we look at personnel and mixed and combined with offensive coordinators and how they call plays? Because when you bring a new coordinator calling plays to a team, it's kind of hard to go off of what I guess history shows, due to the fact that we don't have a history of that new
Yeah.
thing.
True. Absolutely.
So,
That does make sense.
what division we want to go with next?
You want to go
Well,
with the East?
yeah, it's going to be the East.
Perfect.
Who are yours?
I think I think Philly wins it. I have Philly, and then I have Dallas, and then I have Washington, and then I have New York. Matt Nagy being the offensive coordinator for the Giants just kills all my hope for that team. It He's just so bad. So Matt Nagy being on that offensive being the offensive guru on that team, it scares me. I think Malik will be okay. I think Jackson Dart will be okay. But I think they're going to turn up at the back half of the season when Matt Nagy gets fired. And then, so when it matters for fantasy, I think they'll be okay. But in terms of actual play, I don't think anything good's going to happen for them this year. Scat, he's so good, but he just, he's so physical. It, it gets to him. But so that's why I have them in last. Washington right ahead of them. I think they're just so young still that, and I don't. Let me before I go to the youth. Can we talk about how dumb this whole LSU thing is? Like, and I don't think it's Jaden Daniels. I think it's his mom, and I think that's the worst part about it. And yes, Jaden Daniels, in my opinion, had a better season than Joe Burrow, who Joe Burrow's number has not been used again. But because they didn't win the Natty or make it to the Natty, I think that is why they didn't even make it to the playoffs. But Jaden Daniels statistically had a better season than Joe Burrow did, and his defense was just awful. It was a bunch of me and yous on the team.
Hey. Um, it's funny because I hear anything positive about Jaden, and I don't think of his mom. I hear about anything negative, and usually the negative comes off the field. He's not a troublemaker. He's not a punk,
Yes.
but it's business decisions. And hearing the business decisions, it's kind of funny because I always think of his mom also, and she has really done that to herself. One of the comments last year was, "I don't want him dating. I don't
Yes.
want him having a girlfriend." Why are you even talking about that? I don't know, and it's got to get he's got to get crap about it from his teammates. We hear stuff when he goes on the road, and last year was just a bad year. You talked about Nagy being fired halfway through or later in the season. Quinn, I don't know when their bye is, off the top of my head. But say week 10, okay? Say week 10, they're 4-6, 5-5, maybe 4-6, 3-7.
Week 7.
Is it week 7? Okay, so week 7, let's use then. So week 7, say they're 3-4. After what they did last year, will there be talk of him getting fired?
Talk, yes. Action, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think they would wait till after the year.
Okay. Because they've got a new stadium coming. They've got Daniels, who after this year is going to be up for a contract extension. He's really the face of their franchise future-wise because they don't have a stud running back.
Yeah.
They don't have a stud receiver. McLaurin, yes, but he's creeping up into the age of he's no longer the face of anything.
Yeah, he's 30.
What was that?
He's 30. Going to be 30 and a half at the end of the year.
So, in defensive-wise, they've got some big names, but they made some trades last year or didn't sign some people. And their defense was not good last year.
Correct.
And that's what Quinn was hired for, to improve the defense. So I just feel like there's an opportunity there. I think them and the Giants will be fighting for last place.
Okay.
Downs in Dallas. If Dallas has talked about getting a DN, they have their stud D tackle. They have a high-powered offense, running game. It is what it is. I think they can challenge if Dallas steps up defensive-wise.
Mm-hmm.
I think they can challenge the Eagles as the number one team in that division. And I feel like I'm saying it with every top two, and it comes down to the defense, but it really does because both of those offenses. But the Eagles have a new offensive coordinator that we really didn't hit on either. They're without A.J. Brown. Makai Lemon, I don't think has practiced much. He just came in just recently. So Devontae Smith also hasn't been practicing. He's missed 8 straight days. Makai's missed 10 or 11 before he came back. So is their offense going to be enough to start off quick? And that means you're going to have to get a lot of Barkley. And does Barkley wear down at the end?
Nah. Nah.
I know why you're saying nah, and we'll get to that later. But
I don't think I genuinely don't think he does. He's very rarely been hurt. Yes, I know he got a little banged up over the scrimmage that he just had and twisted his ankle, but nothing's came out that it's important. Nobody's even reported on it. So I don't think the wear and tear is going to get Barkley. I think Devontae Smith will be back at the beginning. I hope. But I think Devontae Smith is going to be back at the beginning. I'd really, really look out for Dontavian Wicks. I think Dontavian Wicks, as long as he can catch a ball, because that's the only thing that's stopping him, he is very, very good at playing wide receiver other than just catching it. But he finds himself open. His route running is great. His burst of speed is great. And Jalen Hurts, his deep ball is very, very good. Dontavian Wicks is going to be that intermediate to long range wide receiver.
When you say the only thing that keeps him from being a good receiver is what actually
makes you a receiver or not.
Yeah. So, and if he's going to be the number 2, we go back to Green Bay real quick. They put all their eggs in the Watson basket. At least with Dontavian Wicks, you have someone that can take over the Makai Lemon spot until Makai Lemon, and they're really not the same receiver, but as a number 2 receiver, it gives you someone. So because after that, it drops off.
Yeah,
they've got a player here and a player there, but you need Wicks and you need Smith, or you need all 3 of those guys, or Lemon and Smith, or Lemon and Wicks. But if you don't have 2, it really takes away from the number one there, which then opens it up for Dallas Goedert. But Dallas Goedert and Eli Stowers. Eli Stowers, what I'm reading is he's kind of having a tough go at learning the position in the NFL.
Correct.
Sorry for you and your Eli Stowers guys in Dynasty, but don't trade him away just because we're saying something bad.
I have Loveland and Fanning.
He only has 1 year, but Goddard could get targeted huge this year.
Absolutely, agreed.
So
agreed. So
I'm gonna go on the edge and just say Dallas.
Okay, that sounds good. Now, let me ask you: Commanders at Philly, who wins it?
What is that? Week 1? Are we saying
everybody's healthy?
Smith and Lemon are playing.
Everybody's healthy.
Everybody's healthy,
well, even if they're not. Okay, clear. Well, you're not confident then.
No, that's why I'm picking Dallas.
Okay, so Philly, in Philly versus Washington.
If everybody's healthy, I'll say Philly.
Okay, you didn't sound too confident if everybody's healthy.
I'm not. And I own Smith in Dynasty.
Okay.
I don't like that. I'm hoping that, sorry to cut you off, I'm hoping that they are holding him out because he knows the offense, but he doesn't know it because it's a new offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they're holding him out because, they want him to be 100% for week 1, but he's not learning the offense.
I think he's already learned it. He's going to be perfectly fine.
Okay. And I'm guessing you're saying Eagles easily?
In Philly, yeah.
Okay.
So, Washington at Dallas.
Is that week 2?
Yep.
Wow, do they open up with 3 straight?
Nope.
It's just 2?
Well, they do open up with 3 straight games.
Washington at Dallas?
Yeah.
Oh, Dallas.
Okay. Washington in Washington versus Seattle.
Oh, Seattle.
Washington in Washington versus Indy.
By then, Jones could be getting the offense going. Downs may not.
Don't do that.
That's a coin toss, but since it's in Washington, I'll go Washington.
Okay.
That's 2-2.
Washington in Washington against the Giants.
They could start off 3-2, 4-1, 0-5.
And then Washington at San Francisco.
Jeez, please.
And then they have their bye. So your Dan Quinn question could come into play. If they drop, because they're going to go 0-3 to start the season. If they drop against Indy or the Giants, 1-4, and then they're probably dropping against San Fran, you're looking at a 1-5 record going into the bye, and then you come back from the bye, and then you play Philly, and then you play the Rams.
With that, Philly and the Rams, because you already played them week 1.
Yep.
If you lost to them, and then you're coming out of your bye, and you're going to be playing them again and the Rams, thinking, okay, just say they start off 1-5. Say they 2-4. Okay? Either one of those. You're probably going to look at both of those as a split at best.
Yep.
If you beat Philly week 1.
Yep.
If you beat them. But if you lose, you're probably, there's going to be talk that we're going to start off 2-7. Yes, that'd be 2-6.
2-6. Yeah, 2-6.
Or 1-7.
Yep.
And if you don't fire him in the bye, thinking that,
yeah,
you're not fired. You're not, because if it happens, it usually happens at a bye week.
Correct. Yeah.
I think the one thing that saves Quinn is that his bye week is in week 6.
Agreed. So yeah, that's their schedule.
Rough. And if you start having injuries and you're 2-6, 1-7, and so that is
Laramie Tunsil's already done for the season.
Yeah.
An all-pro tackle. So yeah, So it's going to be a tough beginning of the year. Their end of the year schedule is better, and they should be positive in the end of the year. So as long as they just go 500 at the beginning, the first 10 weeks, then with the end of the season schedule, I think they could push, but it's going to be
For
tough.
10 or 11 wins.
What's up?
For 10 or 11.
For 10. I wonder what their over under is. But then NFC West. You go ahead.
While you're looking up their over under, I'm going to say it's 8.5. And I would take the under. But
7.5.
7.5. Does that mean I take the over at 7.5?
That's how I think about it too.
So, Cardinals. I mean, they showed a little bit. They've got talent on offense. If Harrison can wake up and actually be a receiver. Love looked. What do you have? 14 touches, 76 yards, and a TD.
Oh, I thought he only had 4 touches.
No, I think he had. You looking it up?
Yeah.
So, Brissett did not look bad.
Oh yeah, no, you're so right.
Was it 76 or 73 yards?
I don't know, but go ahead.
If Brissett didn't look bad, but his leash is short, hopefully Beck is not. Hopefully his ribs are allow him to come back next week because
Yeah.
I really want to. I really want to see him in another game.
Yeah.
How many yards did he have?
He had 14 total touches for 72 yards. I was looking at Tyler Algier. Tyler Algier is a starting running back there. That's all I got out of week 1.
Why? Because he did not touch the. He touched the ball like half the amount of times.
He had 4 carries on the first drive and didn't see him again. Yes, I know Jeremiah Love needs to be acclimated into the NFL. You want to give him the touches, you want to get him ready, but it's going to be a split. It's going to be a split.
Oh, exactly. He's. I bought him for Dynasty, and it's definitely not for this year.
Yeah.
You saw the talent.
Oh yeah.
He's got the talent, so I'm not worried about that. But back to the Cardinals, back to the quarterback position of the Cardinals. I want to see what Beck can do.
I do
Because
too.
if he can just be, I know you've got him in Dynasty, and I think he's got the talent. He's looked good. You've heard a lot of positive stuff in camp. I just hope that these reps that he's losing due to the ribs doesn't hurt him. But if Cardinals got a guy like that in the 3rd round, that's value in a draft, and it helps you build a team.
Well, the biggest thing about him, not to cut you off, but the biggest thing about him, 6 years in college, played for Georgia in the Natty, played for Miami in the Natty. He has the experience and he's doing it against good players that are making the NFL. So even though yes, he's missing the reps and it might suck, he wasn't going to be the starter. They just paid Jacoby, and I'm not saying you're saying that, but he wasn't going to be the starter. So Jacoby Brissett already got paid his money. Beck has the experience already that you can't normally say from a rookie point of view, especially someone that's missing time. But Beck's proven that he can get to the biggest level of the level that he's playing at. Is he going to make the NFL with the roster he has? Absolutely not. I mean, is he going to make the Super Bowl? Absolutely not. But over time, if they can build around him, like you said in the 3rd round, that's a gold mine to find a good dynasty quarterback in the 3rd round.
Because look at Tyler Shuck for the Saints last year. What was it? The end of the season, he didn't. I mean, his stats weren't. His win-loss record wasn't great, but his stats were good, and you saw progression each week, and that's why they entered this season with him as the guy. Got him another receiver, got him another running back to help him out, so he's got the weapons. And if they can do that for Beck, he plays in a tough division. So he's going to get tested early, and he's going to get tested often in that division. So it's going to see. But yes, they will be last.
Yeah.
The Niners, they've already started off with a lot of injuries. Makes it tough due to the fact that what was it the other day? I think it was 20 players that weren't practicing. with injuries. They've already signed Zamir White and Khalil Herbert on the running backs. CMC still hasn't returned, has he?
No, but I think that's strictly due to, and Nate said this, I think that's strictly due to the fact that they can't afford to lose him.
Okay.
Because all they've disclosed is just tightness. They haven't said there's an injury. They're saying he's tight. That's literally all that's been said.
Kind of like his calf 2 years ago when it was tight.
Correct.
So
But they were having him practice though. That's the difference. And so I think they're trying to be precautionary, especially with 4 weeks left. You're not going to play him. You don't need to play him in the preseason.
Correct.
But go ahead.
Defensive wise, they signed some guys for cheap on the D line, which watching them the other night, their D line looked good. It always looks good. Seeing what they have at receiver or don't have right now, it's just a lot of key injuries. And I know Shanahan gets the most out of his players, but at some point that luck stops. And they have just so much talent. They worry me. I don't feel bad because I'm a Seahawks fan, and like you said the other day, you feel bad for the team almost, or you're starting to feel bad.
I do feel bad for the team.
But their fans, you don't.
I feel not bad at all for the fans.
Exactly. Because they just don't.
They're so annoying. Yes.
Love you, Nate. But yes, it's the fact that I just don't see them competing high up with the Rams and the Seahawks this year.
Agreed.
So that leaves two teams.
I'm just going to hit real quick on the Niners. Deshaun Stribling, he looked good.
Oh, my God.
He looked good. So if they do end up losing, like Mike Evans can't stay healthy. If he gets hurt, perfect. Throw in Stribling. If Debo gets hurt, perfect. Throw in Stribling. Pearsall got hurt, which I feel so bad for that kid. He has had it so rough. But then throw in Stribling. So they do have someone that they can rely on. And I was laughing at the fact they took Stribling because it's like, why did you do that? But you know what? I think Stribling's play style fits Shanahan perfectly. The yak, just the way he can just the speed after the catch and the upfield turns. I think he fits their team perfectly.
A young Debo?
Yeah, exactly.
So you say if Evans, Stribling, Debo, Stribling, Demarcus Robinson, whatever.
Yeah.
Stribling. What if two of those receivers get hurt, though?
I mean, shit, Stribling. Literally,
Stribling coming back.
Go ahead.
Kittle's already coming back from the Achilles,
which is insane.
Yes, and the videos look great.
Yeah, I guess
he looks up first.
Did you know there was a good way to tear your Achilles?
No.
I didn't either until this injury. And they said that he tore it at the right spot to be okay.
The top of
the top
of it,
yeah.
So that I guess where it separates from the calf or something.
Yes.
And so I guess being there, so I guess that's where it puts the pressure on when you mend it back together. I did not know. I thought I've never even heard an Achilles if it's an Achilles is what I've always heard.
That was my opinion too. But yeah, so that was kind of cool to hear.
It was. And Kittle is just, you get an 80%, 75% Kittle, and he's better than most tight ends anyways.
Yeah.
So and they've got Tonjes.
Jake's good. I like him. But yeah, so that leaves two.
I don't see that they have enough, and we could be wrong. Their offense always, they just kept winning last year, so they could have enough to come back and play the, what's the word I'm looking for? Knock out the contender person.
Underdog?
No, well, I forget what it is that I'm trying to say. I guess underdog, but just knock out one of the Rams and the Seahawks and make us get some losses and they stay close. But it's just I think the Rams and the Seahawks are just a tier above. And I know everybody that's going to listen to this is going to say the Rams are a clear tier ahead of both teams, and the Niners and the Seahawks are close. But we only lost 2 starters. But with that said, the Rams gained 1, 2, 3, 4 starters on defense if Aaron comes back. But they lost Verse, but improved by having Garrett. But the thing with Garrett, back tightness, and I haven't followed his career up to now going into games. I know on it seems like Saturday nights he was questionable coming into quite a few games, but I don't know how much time he missed in the preseason or camp or whatnot. But hearing his back, now his knee is swelling. He does his own shopping, and Sean ran into him at the grocery store the other night. Did you see that on the text messages?
I didn't.
Yeah, Sean said, I felt like what was it? I think he said something like a high school girl or whatever he said, because he didn't want to take a picture because Ian goes, we need a picture. It didn't happen. But kind of cool seeing Myles Garrett in line in front of you. And Sean's like, that dude is just huge. And I asked, did he have a limp? So.
Wait, Sean what?
Spags.
The Sean in our... I thought you were talking about Sean McVay. You're talking about the one in our league?
Yeah, Spagnoli.
He was right behind Myles Garrett?
Yes.
And he didn't ask for a picture?
Exactly.
Oh, nah.
Or even take his picture while he's buying food.
Literally.
So, yes.
Wow,
yeah.
that's cool.
You didn't see that in the text messages? Yeah, go back. It was... what's today? Friday, so like Wednesday night or something.
I'll have to look.
But yeah, it's way back there now in our text messages.
Facts.
So yes. So give me your input about what you like about the Rams have done and what you don't like about what they've done. Because they haven't brought back Aaron yet, so you can't say they don't like that, because we won't like it.
I'm not too worried. I think Seattle is going to win the division. I think that Seattle, our 12 personnel is going to be perfect against Myles Garrett, and even if Aaron Donald returns, perfect. Route running wise, I'm 100% taking JSN over Trent McDuffie. Trent McDuffie's very good, but he bites a lot, and with the route running that JSN has, I'm taking JSN over that. Perfect. They drop into a cover 2, and they don't send as many. Take away the 12 personnel. Now you put in Torrey Horton, a field stretcher, with Shaheed down the middle, Cooper Kupp as a pass blocker. If you need, you can motion him, make him hit a quick little bump on whatever the defensive end is, or whoever the defensive end is at that point. Now you send him on an out route. You send JSN inside. But there's so many things that our offense does that doesn't get enough credit. Yes, I know we lost Clint, and that is a big thing. It is. I'm not going to discredit Clint, because Clint is one of the most efficient offensive-minded coaches. So it does suck, but I still think that Mike Macdonald is going to be able to continue what Clint was doing with the new offensive coordinator that we brought in. And with the 12 personnel, Elijah Arroyo, freak of nature, athletic. AJ Barner, very athletic. And both of them are okay blocking, more so Barner than Arroyo. But you got Cooper Kupp that does not care about blocking. He's going to go put his body on the line. So our offense matches up so well against their defense, no matter if Aaron Donald comes back or not. I'm really not too worried. And it's crazy to say this, but I'm so confident in Seattle to run it back this year that I'm not really worried about any other team. We're on a 13 game win streak, I think, 11, something around there. We're on a crazy win streak though. Last year we lost 3 games, total of 9 points combined. We're like 18-5 since Mike Macdonald's first bye week, which was week 10 2 years ago, and our defense plays as a unit. It doesn't matter who gets hurt. We didn't have a single game in the regular season outside of week 1 where all our starters were together until the playoffs, and even then I don't even know if we did, but until the playoffs and our defense was just phenomenal. Ty Okada,
You
Okada. He came in like it was nothing. We had the other white boy at linebacker.
Thomas.
Yes, Drake Thomas came in like it was nothing. Our defensive line, it doesn't matter who's in there, came in like it's nothing. Also, um, defensive player of the year, I would sprinkle Byron Murphy. I think he's gonna have just an insane year this year. I'd sprinkle some money on Byron Murphy if you do bet, and then the Rams, they're just old. Puka, no idea what's going on with him, but this offseason was the most insane offseason I've seen from anybody. He may be suspended. That's going to be huge. Unfortunately for us, we played in week 16 and 18, so it wouldn't affect us. But I wouldn't want to play him without Puka anyways. Obviously, I want to, but then we're going to hear all the analytics.
Well, you
Well, they
only
weren't.
beat them because of.
Exactly. Same thing with the Niner fans last year. They beat the Bears by they put up 40 points against the Bears, put up 40 points against the Colts. They played us. We're hurt. But 2 weeks and the week prior, okay, we're back. We're winning it. We're hurt going into week 18 because we beat them 13-3. They go into that first round, the wild card round of playoffs. They beat the Eagles. We're back. We beat them 41-7, 41-3, whatever it was. Oh, we were hurt. So we hate hearing that, but we always hear that as Seattle fans. Like we can't ever we will never get the recognition we deserve. And it's not being biased. We just won the Super Bowl and not a single person is like Seattle's there. Seattle's going to come back. Seattle's going to win it. Everything's just on other teams. So it's just you got the Ravens that are top 3 now for Super Bowl odds. They didn't even make the playoffs. Mahomes, they're top 5, didn't even make the playoffs. And it's like these teams that didn't really do much are back in the top 5 for money wise, and Seattle's just sitting there like it's nothing. So the Rams, I know I just talked for a while and I apologize, but
No, you're good. You're good. I'm enjoying it.
the Rams, I feel like they are very good because of Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford and Puka and all their defensive players. They're very good. But I think we scheme up against them so well that we are going to have the edge and we are going to win the division again.
Everybody talks about, and you said a lot, so it's hard. It's gonna be hard for me to comment on what you said.
Yeah.
But I was enjoying listening to you. We played them 3 times. We played the Niners and the Rams 6 times total last year, and went 4-2. Lost the first matchup to both teams, and then
Because of a player that's no longer with us.
yes. So the Rams loss that we had, Darnold threw, was it 4 or 5 picks?
4 interceptions with 1 fumble.
Yes, so 5 turnovers. And we still lost on a missed 61-yard field goal attempt. And then we beat them, and everybody says, well, you only beat them because of
the 2-point conversion.
Yes, or you only beat them because of that. It's like, okay, well, we did beat them. They had the opportunity to do what they didn't do. They gave up. We were down by what? Was it 13 points? And
13 with 7.5 minutes
8 minutes left, and 7.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So, yes, we beat them on involving a 2-point conversion play that was a fluke play, but Sharp was coached to pick it up. Our offense was coached to pick it up, and they followed the coaching move. It was a clear backwards pass, but they gave up 13. I mean, they gave up, I think it was like 10 points or so in a matter of just over a minute on that Rashid punt. And then there was a play with Cup. It was just phenomenal coaching and playing.
Yep.
Then you go to the NFC Championship game where it was just back and forth. Great game, and we came out on top. So it's not that we are underrated or we are a worse team. We are in a smaller market. Darnold is still not getting the talk or the recognition. I was surprised he was the 21st ranked player in the top 100. And then when you go and you say, okay, there's all this talk that this is the most quiet Super Bowl champ coming through the preseason. If it wasn't for Hard Knocks, it would be even worse.
Yeah.
But Hard Knocks is giving them some recognition right now, which has been entertaining. But they don't talk about us. They talk about us, who we lost this person, lost that person, when we only lost 2 starters. 2 starters. And you can't pay a running back $15 million and still build the team that you want. You mentioned Byron Murphy, who you think could be Defensive Player of the Year. Did you see the other day his position was changed?
To defensive end, right?
Yep. So we've got some big boys on the DN, and watching what our D-line coach does and watch what Mike McDonald does to scheme things up. All that's going to do is open things up more. To our offense, you mentioned Arroyo's not a great blocker. Did you see that route he ran at the back of the end zone?
Looked like a wide receiver.
Yes. And that's one thing, and they talked about it when that happened, that when we drafted him, Mike McDonald said if it wasn't for his injury, he could have been a round 1 talent.
Yep.
And when we drafted him, it was right after we got rid of DK. And they said, okay, he can be the X receiver that can take over DK's type of playing style. And then he started off somewhat warm and then got injured and never really picked up, kind of like Horton. So we got these extra players that started off strong on our offense that are now coming back. Yes, we lost Clint, but our new OO coordinator mixed with, I think it's David Stern or Dennis Stern from Baltimore, who is an analytics guy, and that's what Brian Flory is. He's an analytics guy, and I think you're going to see these things with Mike McDonald, who is going to say, okay, if you do this on offense, we're going to do this. How are you going to change that? Mike McDonald with those brains on offense, I don't think we're going to see much of a change because Clint Kubiak and Flory come from the Shanahan type offenses.
Yeah.
Bill Walsh and Gary Kubiak were together. So now it's a Clint and Shanahan, which is from the Walsh tree. It's going to be fun to see how we may start off slow. I don't know if we get 14 wins, but I don't think we get less than 12.
I think our over-under is 11.5.
Okay. I thought it was 10.5.
10.5?
I don't bet though.
Yeah, 10.5. Yeah, it sounds
Is
like
it?
you don't. Yeah. Byron Murphy, you put $100 on him to win the depoy, you get $6,000 in return.
Are you serious?
I'm so serious. I might sprinkle some money on that.
But you won't, right?
I won't. But yeah, so you have Seattle as well?
Yes.
All right.
I cannot wait till Christmas Day.
Oh my,
Cannot wait.
Christmas Day, the rivalry jersey, Seattle Rams.
Yep.
Yes, sir. All right, well, so I have Seattle, the Saints, the Bears, and the Eagles.
And mine is Dallas.
Yep.
My difference was Dallas.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. All right.
Put that draft board up. Is Ian still listening?
Nah, he left. Like, he had to be an Uber, he said, when we asked him to be in the video 58 minutes ago.
You had to be in an Uber?
He had to be an Uber.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, so that takes us into the draft that we just completed last Friday, a week ago from tonight. Or from right now, I guess.
Which
But
we briefly spoke about in our last week call or video about our draft was coming up. We didn't want to talk about sleepers due to the fact that we didn't want to give any away since we had our draft, and we know that our league does watch this, and we appreciate that everybody watches it and comments on it. So what was it? What was guy's name last week that was on our call?
That was
Sorry to put you on the spot. He was very active.
I think Kyle.
Yes.
He was very active, yes. But that takes us into the overdrafted players. Or you want to do who you think? Yeah, let's do overdrafted players first. Overdrafted players first, and then we can pick three
Order?
each. Do you see the board like yourself?
No, I don't.
Do you want to
But
look at it?
I'm gonna pull mine up.
Okay, so I'll go
Uh,
first. So the first overdrafted player that I have is going to be Kyron Williams. Kyron Williams, I think he's going to be a stud. I do. I think he's going to be really good because I think that Rams defense is going to be good, and I think that Rams offense is just going to run, 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 run. I think Kyron Williams is going to be good. But I also think that Kyron Williams going at the 2.04 was a reach because I see right now Derrick Henry went at the 3.6, the 3 point or and then Derrick Henry went at the 3.6. Jason got Jeremiah Love at the 3.8. So I think Kyron Williams would have been there at the 3.09. And if I'm Gary and I'm looking at my roster and I could have had James Cook, AJ Brown, and then Kyron Williams rather than James Cook, Kyron Williams, and Colson Loveland, I think I would have liked that other start better, which is why my number one reach is Kyron Williams at the 2.04.
Okay, I'm really surprised you said Kyron Williams was your number one. Um,
Let
you know
me.
why?
So I think Kenneth Walker was overdrafted at the 111, but you went into the draft wanting Kenneth Walker and Chase Brown.
Chase Brown.
And if you would have swapped Chase Brown and Kenneth Walker, I'm not making fun of you for that. So for that reason, it's like you still got the two players you wanted. If you didn't get Chase Brown after that and you went with Kenneth Walker over Chase Brown, I'm definitely putting Kenneth Walker first because there's no way Chase Brown does not outscore K9. But that's why, because you still got the two guys you wanted, and if Kenneth Walker went in the second round, I'm not making fun of Kenneth Walker's pick in the second round.
Okay, fair enough. So my okay, so as a reminder, this is Superflex, and our league. One of the key things is know how your leagues draft. Know the settings and know how your league mates draft. We went from a 10 team to a 12 team. And the reason I say that it's two teams, not a big deal. But over 17 rounds, that's 34 more players. 34 more players, really not a big deal. But when you are doing Superflex in a 12 team, so you can start two quarterbacks, that's 24 quarterbacks. And that means only 8 teams can have 3 quarterbacks with that math.
Yes.
I normally would have said Josh Allen at the 110 was, with our league and knowing that we don't normally draft quarterbacks high, was a reach. But with the way I just explained it, I'm surprised more quarterbacks did not go than 3 in the first 3 rounds. And so with the 3 looking back, hindsight is always better. So you can always have 20/20 hindsight. I look at Allen and I think, okay, he could have waited. But he paired him with Genty. And being at the 110, I don't know if you waited and, well, I can't really say that either. So I'm going to have to stick with Allen being overdrafted with our league, if that makes sense.
I see where you're coming from because you need to know your league mates. But clearly he wanted Josh Allen. And in
Correct.
my opinion with that, Lamar and Burrow went before his third pick. I don't think Allen would have fallen, and Allen's the only one that I think is going to average 40 points this year. Which is why I didn't take him. Again, this is your thought. That's your thought. But that's why I didn't say Josh Allen, just because the fact if he got the player he wanted, and which is why I didn't say K9, because those players may not make it back to you in the next turn. Whereas that's why I took Kyron, because I don't think Kyron would have. I mean, I think Kyron would have been there in the third. But I see exactly where you're coming from.
I agree with that because Kyron, a lot of the talk, well, even last year, looking at Blake Corum. Blake Corum has earned a role. Kyron Williams has been what he has been.
Yeah.
And it's not that he's really dropped off. It's not that he's gotten better. But Kyron Williams, I don't see him outscoring A.J. Brown. I don't see him outscoring. I think Barkley falls off, but I don't think he outscores Barkley. Don't see him outscoring Hampton. HN possibly. Drake London, it starts coming into the questions of the quarterback. Breece Hall and Kyron are pretty even.
I think Breece Hall was an overdraft too. I would take Henry and Love over both of them. And I don't like Love.
I don't know if I'd take Love over him. Hall didn't get any playing time tonight, which is a plus.
He played.
Did he play?
The first drive.
Breece Hall played?
2 drives.
Okay, wow. Okay.
It was all Cade to Garrett Wilson. Every single play. And Mason Taylor.
So I'll take my next one. My next player, I think, is an overdraft, and I'll explain it. I think Trey McBride is an overdraft. I don't see, and the reason I say it, I think Bowers should have went before McBride. McBride, I don't see them throwing 40 times a game. I don't see them, if Michael Wilson continues to improve the way he did, then I think that takes away some targets. Love coming in, I think they're going to have a better running game. Him and Algier is going to give a better running game. I don't see how LaFleur is going to want to pass 40 times a game when it only got Brissett 1 win. You've got to control the game. You've got to control the clock. And by throwing 40 times a game does not do either one of those. McBride will, I think they will try to throw 32 to maybe 35 times a game at the end to try to get some wins. But that's 5 to 8 passes a game times 17 is what, 17 times 5.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the equation.
85. That's 80. That's almost 100 less passes in a season.
Yeah.
100 less passes to McBride is probably 30 or so less targets.
Yeah.
I don't see him getting the type of numbers that Bowers is going to get. Bowers is going to be the JSN of that offense. And I went earlier and said it's hard to take a team and say they're going to do this when you get a new offensive coordinator. But a new offensive coordinator, you look what he did with Justin Jefferson in Minnesota. You look at what he tried to do with Olave the year before, but he got hurt with the bad passes. And then you look at what he did with JSN last year. The offensive coordinator proves he dials into a receiver, and his receiver gets targets. They don't have a stud receiver on Las Vegas. They've got Brock Bowers. And Brock Bowers, I think, is going to be the JSN of his offense next year. Genty's going to be more efficient. So I would have taken, which opens up the passing game. I think McBride over Bowers was a bad pick.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I don't think there was a single game when Jacoby Brissett started. Like you said, I don't think there was a single game where he had under 40 receptions or 40 passing attempts.
Correct.
I mean, James Conner got hurt, like you mentioned earlier in the episode. James Conner got hurt. Marvin Harrison was hurt. They had nothing. They had Michael Wilson and Trey McBride. I think those two are still going to be absolute studs. But I do think in the terms that you're mentioning, you're 100% correct, and I think Bowers is going to outscore McBride in that concept. I also just don't like taking a onesie that early.
There's that too. And was it 3 of them that round? Yeah, 3 of them that round. and then Warren taken in. So 4 of them in between rounds 3 and 4.
Yes. Yes.
Who's your second?
Mine's going to be the 5.10, which, yes, I'm dropping pretty far, but in the 5th round, that's still a huge starter for you. And we drafted a running back 2 at the 5.10, which is TreVeyon Henderson. TreVeyon Henderson is the RB2 for his team, who Dylan ended up drafting the RB1 3 rounds later in Rhamondre Stevenson. So, the reason I don't like this is due to the fact that, one, he got the RB1 3 rounds later, and he could have went with Carnell Tate, Jadarian. If he wanted a running back, which I would get because he started Allen, Genty, Rice, Flowers, I'd probably go running back there as well. I'm taking Swift, I'm taking Etienne, and I'm taking Price all over TreVeyon. I'm taking Demont, taking Tootin, and then I'm taking Stevenson, Rhamondre Stevenson, and then I'd probably go TreVeyon Henderson. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other running backs that I would have taken over TreVeyon. And with that being said, that's already a red flag in my opinion. Obviously, everybody's values are different, but I just don't think that I'd be comfortable drafting TreVeyon over players that I know can consistently put up points in my starting lineup, because taking TreVeyon in the 5th round, you're forced to start him. Whether you want to or not, you're forced to, because you're not drafting someone that's healthy and putting them on your bench in the 5th round. So that's where my second pick would be.
I do want to say, so the Josh Allen and the TreVeyon and the Rhamondre Stevens, those are all 3 on one team. This owner was not at our draft.
Well, I actually really like his team.
Oh, I do too.
Okay.
I really like it. No, but what I'm saying is he was going via electronic communication with yourself through the whole thing. Very responsive. But the reason he was not at our draft is he had him and his wife had their 3rd child, who was over a month early. And, his attention was elsewhere, and everybody's healthy right now. So that's a plus. But I just wanted to let you know that with the things we're saying, he's focusing. This draft was not his top priority. And so for him to draft an overall team, which you want to read it or you want me to?
I can. He has Josh Allen and Hurts, best quarterback duo in the league. He has Genty, Henderson, Pollard, Stevenson, Jordan Mason, and Dylan Sampson. He has an RB. He has a top RB that leads the RB room. The RB depth isn't there, but the top RB can make up for the RB2. And I do like Stevenson. I really do. Then he has Rashee Rice, Zay Flowers, Sutton, Jaden Reed, Jalen Coker. All wide receivers that I know you don't like Zay. I like Zay just due to the fact that they really have nobody else. And Lamar trusts Zay. So I like that receiver room, but I think the biggest thing about his team is just the quarterback room. Like, he's going to get 100 points maybe a week from his quarterbacks. It doesn't really matter about his depth as long as his quarterbacks stay healthy. So again, like you're saying, we're not saying anything bad about his team, because if you were to ask me right now, which we will be doing at the end, who we think is the worst team, I'm not thinking about his team.
I agree. He's going to be one of the top teams. And then to round it out, he's got Isaiah Likely. He drafted 2 tight ends. His last pick was a 2nd tight end. Strange, but he's got Isaiah Likely, who is going to be targeted in that offense. And then he's got the Houston Texans defense. We don't use kickers in this league. Anybody that plays in a league that uses kickers, you should probably leave that league. Just kick the kicker out. I'm not a lot of leagues like him because, NFL teams have kickers, so you should use kickers. And I try to keep our settings
different,
as close to, or our rules, I should say. Like, I try not to open up in Dynasty. I don't open up the IR until the weekend before. There's certain things I don't do. Try to use the trade deadline. A lot of people said they don't like trade deadlines. Well, the NFL has a trade deadline. So there's a lot of things I try to do. But just kickers, I don't know, for some reason I don't like them in fantasy. And so he's got a strong team. Great draft, Dylan. And again, congratulations to you and Kayleen and your daughters and your new welcoming of Carson Rhett to your family. Best value. You want to go first?
You go ahead.
Okay. So I'm going to go. I don't know if this is the best value, but this is one of them. I'm going to go right back to Dylan's team and Rhamondre Stevenson. You know, like you said,
yeah,
he drafted the RB2 in rounds 5, and 3 rounds later still gets the starter. And so, yes, he locked up that backfield. But to get the starter in round 8, 3 rounds after you drafted the backup, I mean, I don't know if that's luck. I don't know if it's value, but I think when you take Henderson, some people are going to look like, well, maybe I missed something. Maybe Rhamondre is not the starter anymore. But that was great value to lock in that backfield. Rhamondre Stevenson is going to be a contributor, and he is going to be at least for the first half of the season, unless he fumbles away things, he's going to be a key starter. He's going to be one of probably your lock as an RB or a flex. So great value by getting Rhamondre Stevens in the 8th round?
Yes. Yes. So I do agree, as obviously y'all can tell. I am big on Stevenson. Now, and I don't want to sound biased. I really don't. So I do apologize if y'all think
that was going to be my next one. I hope you don't say it.
I was gonna say Michael Wilson in the 10th was gonna be mine. Michael Wilson in the 10th. You're probably gonna go 11th, but I truly feel as if Michael Wilson is going to have a 6+ touchdown, a 1,000+ receiving yards, and an 85+ reception season, and that right there is already 300+ points. With no bonuses that we get. So I'm very high, and I'm higher than everybody probably in the world on Michael Wilson. But I think that he has cemented himself as the true number 1 target. Yes, you can say I'm biased because I just saw a first preseason game. I don't care about that. I saw what happened at the end of last year. Yes, I know Marvin Harrison wasn't there. I know Love wasn't there. But with Love and Tyler Algier in the backfield now, teams are going to have to respect the run game. They're going to have to. And by respecting the run game, you're going to have Michael Wilson one-on-one, and Michael Wilson is going to just get peppered with targets. I feel as if that in a 10th round is very good value.
Where I'm looking right now as you're talking, and where did Marvin Harrison go?
Marvin Harrison went in the first or second team, I thought. No, I guess not. Why
am I not finding him?
Oh, Marvin Harrison right there. Jason in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th round. Oh, wow. So I guess... I mean, yeah, I still stay. Yeah, but 8, right in the middle.
But you got him.
Can I pick a new terrible pick? Yes, I did get him 2 rounds after.
So, one of my best values was on your team, and the game last night. I know it's first preseason, but this guy broke a record. I did not realize this until this morning.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, wow. Strickland. Yeah.
Second to last pick. I thought it was your last pick, but
I did too.
You got You got Jawan Jennings as your last, who you have dropped for a defense who I dropped. But you're getting Stribling with 7 catches um, in his first preseason game. And we talked about him earlier. If player X gets hurt, Stribling goes in. Player Y gets hurt, Stribling goes in. Player Z gets hurt, Stribling goes in. And I said, what if 2 of them get hurt? You said, Stribling goes in. So to get Stribling that late, and we knew how many, there's been so many positive comments made about him in camp so far. And we know the injuries, and we know it's a 32-year-old wide receiver who's going to be the wide receiver one, a guy who came in just after being away from the team for 4 years, I think, or 3 years, now coming back, but not signed until camp when all the injuries were starting. Yeah. Counting Pearsall that is now out. I don't know why we all, including yourself, I mean, you picked him in the 16th round. Why we let Stribling fall to the 16th round when we know the offense he's in? He was picked as, what was it, the 33rd, 34th player overall, so just missed the first round. I have to say that there is potential that that will be the steal of the draft. A few years ago, James Robinson, it wasn't even a few years ago, it was probably like 5 years ago. James Robinson was a undrafted kid or a 7th round kid, drafted guy. And my pick's coming up and it breaks. We all get an alert. And your boy Brody, who used to be your boy, made a comment about him. And then I was hoping he didn't pick him, and he didn't. And he fell right into my lap as a starter because he was named the starter in our draft. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take him right here in like the 15th round or something. So it was nice to get a starter. And I think that's what Stribling is going to be this year. I think there's a potential that he is a just lock and just start year long.
I think so too. And I was trying so hard not to drop him for a defense. I was trying so hard to trade him.
Oh.
I was trying, and I could never pull the trigger. And you know what? I'm so thankful I didn't. And that brings me into someone that I've been trying to trade him for, Jordan Tyson, who would have been my selection here, but due to that same dang hamstring injury every single time, I can't pick him anymore. So to a new one, which I know everybody's gonna be like, "Oh my God, all you guys do is just glaze each other. All you guys do is cheat. All this, all that." But I had this player on my roster last year, and he was a plug and never think about it play. Chimere Dike. The only thing that I worry about with him is he's not going to get any receiving work this year just because of Alec Iomaner, who's actually been doing very well. Alec Iomaner, Carnell Tate. You have the 3 running backs in the backfield, and then you have Wan'Dale Robinson. All these players that are on top of him on the depth chart. He may not get that receiving work, but you're still going to average 20 plus points a week because of the fact that the Titans are so bad that he's always getting the opportunities to return punts and return kicks, and he's so explosive. He very rarely ever called for a fair catch because he put his faith in himself to go get more yardage. And if the Titans get scored on at least just 3 times a game, that's already 10 points because he's probably going to be returning it 30 yards every single time, 30 plus yards every single time. Chimere Dike to me in the 14th round, which I was really irritated about because that's the round I was going to take him. But it was irritating to me because I knew how good he is at that return game, and he's just a plug and play type of player. Nobody's going to value him until you have him. So it's like people are probably going to think, oh, whatever. So if I had to pick another one, it would be Courtland Sutton on Dylan's team in the 9th round, 10th round, whatever it was. But Courtland Sutton is just going to be a red zone hog over in Denver. So I think those are the two best value picks for me.
So Rashid, when I made the Walker pick, oh, you guys you're gonna take Rashid Shaheed too, Brian? And I'm like, whatever. You guys can talk all the crap you want, but Shaheed, there's been a lot of positive talk out of camp. The connection with him and Darnold, and you got to remember he gets return yards also. That's a key to our league, return yards, and anything over 100 return yards is going to be 5 bonus points. And if you get 200 return yards, that's 10 bonus points. But shoot, 100 return yards, if you are going to do, because that's punt and kickoff. Okay. So all you need is, say, anything receiving work on Rashid Shaheed and DK is bonus. It's just gravy. It's icing on the cake. It's whatever you want to call it. Because both of them are going to average probably, I don't know, I think DK averaged over 100 yards returning each week last year.
2,400 yards total in the season. So, yes.
Yeah. And what did we say? That was 23, 24 was on return only, right?
21 was on return only.
Okay, so 21 was on return. So say he gets, I don't know, 500 less. That's 1,600 yards returning. Not many receivers have 1,600 yards receiving a year. So that puts him at a top 5 receiver, possibly top 1 receiver, just with return yards. And that's if you take 500 to 600 yards off of his. So that's why I took him. It's, again, knowing your league settings.
Yeah.
And it's when the value starts falling off and you're taking RB2s or 3s in bad offenses, or you're taking your second defense or your second or third tight end that you're not going to start and he's going to be the first person you drop, why not take someone with a high upside floor in something you're still getting points for? It's not your normal return or receiving or rushing yardage or passing yardage, but points are points.
Yeah.
And that's why I took him and Shaheed and Debo also, for that matter. Debo in round 11, it's been said he's going to be a receiver, a running back, and a return guy.
Really?
And so you have to take those points where you can get them in your league settings.
Agreed. Totally agree.
Best team. Actually, have we done 2 of the best values?
Yeah.
Okay. So best team.
Best team. I mean, I already told you. I think the best team, I don't know. I feel like there's not really one like standout team this year. I think though I'd have to go. If everyone stays healthy, I'm gonna go with myself, but I'm not gonna pick myself. But I just want everybody to know that I do think it's gonna be me if everybody stays healthy. But I think, and I just hate to say it, I really do. So I'm not going to. I'm I'm gonna have to give it to Oscar. I'm gonna have to give it to Oscar.
See, you said that to me the weekend of the draft.
Yes.
If Oscar would have swapped Bowers for McBride,
then the team I would have said wouldn't have had Bijan.
I just can't. I don't know. Oscar's got a bunch of what ifs.
Yeah.
And if McBride gets 40, their offense throws 40 passes a game. Nico has not finished a season, a complete season, except for once in his year, once in his career. Brian Thomas Jr. Okay, you guys talk about Parker Washington being the number 1, but there's been a lot of talk of Brian Thomas Jr. looking good. Mike Evans hasn't practiced. He's 32 years old. Denzel Boston in the 8th round. Yes, Denzel's going to be, he might be a stud, and he might be the wide receiver 1 in Cleveland. but is that offense going to be good? Kyle Monangai, I don't know what he's going to do. Godwin is a great pick in the 10th round.
Yes.
Bryce Young, and that's his only. Well, I think he picked up another one. Was that Geno Smith, who's dealing with a foot injury now?
Jacoby.
Was it Brissett that he picked up?
Yeah.
Who may not last all year. So if he starts off hot, try to trade him. The league's going to listen to this video, but try to trade him because Bryce Young, he's already been benched once in his career, and I don't know if he's going to be the guy. Hollywood Brown, he's going to be wide receiver, 3, 4, 5 in Philly.
Yeah, probably okay. Not. Maybe his team's not as good as I thought.
Zach Charbonnet is starting on PUP. Turpin, okay, I can't talk about that because he's going to need he could be the wide receiver 3 in that offense, and he's going to get return yards, and he's great at returning. So that's great value. But Sadiq, it's already been announced that he is going to miss time.
And Mason Taylor looks good. All right, you know what? I take it back. I'll say it for the first time ever. I think Ian has the best team. I don't think he's going to win it. I'm not going to say that, but I think Ian has the best team.
I agree.
Ian traded for Bijan Robinson, for y'all that don't know. Ian traded for Bijan Robinson for a bag of chips.
He traded for Tootin, Bowers,
and
Parker Washington. So
it's actually a good return, but just not in our setup.
Bowers is that's the best piece he got, but Sean traded the 102 Bijan Robinson for the the third, what is that?
Third, fourth, and
the third for a third round pick is his best return of one position.
Third, sixth, and
didn't
eighth.
Even try to get Judkins, who was his first running back taken. He went with the third running back taken on Ian's team. So Ian kept his first, second running back and got Bijan to pair with Chase and London. Now, he does have Kittle, who's the tight end, which is a drop-off. He's got Bo Daddy and Nick and Daniel Jones as being his quarterback.
He needs a second quarterback, and then his team's just
Nick
great.
Singleton got his ass blown up.
Hey, don't talk bad about my boy.
Did you see that, though?
The offensive tackle just didn't touch anybody. So, yes, I saw it.
And so he's got Caleb Douglas, who I think he's already dropped. He's dropped Troy Franklin. He did pick up Woody Marks. Ian has no depth.
Ian does not have any depth. But if his starters stay healthy.
Correct. So he's got a great starting team. Well, first 7 rounds, I guess, and then we've got 11 starters. But he got Denver Broncos. I mean, Denver Broncos, it's hard to say the Denver Broncos were value, but when the first defense was taken in round 9 of a 17-round team, and then you still get 13. The Denver Broncos in round 13, you've got to say that's great value.
Yes. The thing I don't like, Denver opens up against KC, then Jacksonville, then the Rams, then the Niners, then the Chargers, then Seattle. It's a terrible schedule for a defense. Yes, they're great, but it's a terrible schedule for the defense.
Agreed. If I can get the word out. So, again, you say I'm going to go with Dylan, who might have. He's got Allens and Hurts.
Okay? It's going to be so hard to beat that duo.
He's got Rashee Rice, Ashton Genty, and then he's got some solid running backs. Like we said, he's got the Patriots run game, which they're going to run, and he's got Pollard, which that offense doesn't have a whole lot. If they can get going and Pollard can run, so he's got 3 great running backs. Then he's got Sutton, Rice, and Flowers. I'm not a huge Flowers fan, but he's got, if Sutton can be a red zone guy, or if Waddle doesn't connect because Bo Daddy per Ian is going to throw 4,500 yards and 40 touchdowns. That means Sutton's going to have 10 plus. That means the run game's going to have some. Nix is probably going to run some in. But you've got some. Then you got Likely. You've got a great defense. I think Dylan's team will be up there with the best of them.
Agreed.
I like. There's a lot of good teams. There's some bad teams. Let's work our way into who makes the playoffs. Let's go with that route first. I'm going to throw a kink into it because we didn't talk about this. Or you could say who misses the playoffs.
Who makes the playoffs? Me, Big Dylan, Ian, Oscar, you,
we got 8 teams that make it, and I think
Nate.
that's 5. There's 6.
Sean. Bengals defense is crazy, by the way. I can't believe Sean has Bengals defense. Sean. If Mark trades for a running back, Mark. If Jason trades for a quarterback, Jason. There are my 8. So I have. Okay. Oh wait, no, I like Robbie's team.
I was surprised you didn't say Rob's.
I like Rob's team. So Rob over Mark. So the teams that I have missing it are Mark, Dylan, Gary, and who else? Sean?
That would be Jason or... No, you said Sean makes it.
So I have Mark missing, Dylan missing, Gary missing. Did I say Nate doesn't
Mark,
make
Gary,
it?
Dylan. That means Jason or... I guess... So I think Oscar and Sean. So I think Oscar can make it with all the ifs. Just need some of the ifs to hit. Ian he's going to need some depth. But I still think he makes it. Sean took a hit with losing Bijan.
Agreed.
Because you start 2 up to 6 running backs.
Yeah, none of it. He doesn't have a single RB1 on his team.
No. He's banking on Gainwell catching a lot of passes. Blake Corum, he's banking on Kyron getting hurt. He doesn't have Woody Marks anymore. Jonah Coleman, possibly. I thought you had Jonah. Jonah looked good today, but he's not going to start off as the RB. I don't think he'll start off as the RB1.
He will not.
Could be later in the season. He's going to have to trade for a running back. He's going to have to.
CMC is available.
And he's got Kyler Murray, Jaden Daniels, and Lamar. I'll throw this out there. He's got the quarterbacks to possibly make a trade with Jason. Because Jason needs a quarterback. He's got CJ Stroud and he's got Mendoza. I don't know if Jason wants to go the cheap route, try to trade for Kirk Cousins with Mark. So he's got that quarterback locked up. That's an opportunity. But then Mark's only got Stafford and Rodgers doesn't pass a whole lot. So with this said, I'm going to have to say Sean's weak link is running back, but running back is very important. He's going to have to hit every week with Jaden and Lamar. Because after Malik Neighbors and Jalen Waddle, his strong point is going to be I don't know if Sean makes the playoffs. Sean doesn't make it. Mark's quarterbacks and running backs are hurting.
Wait,
Puka, if he gets suspensions,
wait, that's actually really ass.
which part?
I have myself, Dylan, Oscar, and Ian making it. One of us are not making it.
Because you're all in the same
We're
division?
all in the same division. One of us are not making it. So I'd have to say did I have Jason in it?
No.
So I'm going to have to say Jason, Zen, and God, my division is tough.
Oh, I've got Sean.
Yeah,
Mark.
Yeah, you have.
Jason.
Yeah, you have an easy ass division, and then so does Nate. Well, technically,
Rob and Nate.
all four of us could make it if the other two divisions just have the top two teams make it. It would be tough. I don't know how that would work out.
You've got 8 teams that make it.
Yeah, like it'd be tough because we're gonna have to split in an even manner.
That's the top 2 and a wild card.
Yeah.
And you can get, I mean, that means, every other division is, like you said, the top 2, and you guys get all 4.
Because the only way all 4 of us make it is if all 4 of us do not lose a single game outside the division.
And you'd have to split.
And we'd have to split, yeah. We'd have to split plus go undefeated outside the division. Holy shit. I'm in the group of death. I mean, I'm making it out, so I don't really care, but...
Okay, with that said, I don't think Oscar makes it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Too many what ifs.
Yeah.
And if it's not him that doesn't make it, it's Ian due to his lack of depth.
I think I have the best depth in the league. That's why I'm confident. I have Malik Willis as a quarterback 3.
I think I have the best depth counting return yardage.
Nah. I have the red zone running back for the Jaguars. I have Jonathan Brooks, who's going to be RB1. I have Stribling. I have Diggs, and I have Josh Downs all on my bench. Again, I'm higher than Josh Downs than everybody else. I'm higher than Michael Wilson than everybody else. I think Smitty's going to be a great wide receiver 1. I love CMC, Barkley, and Swift. But if I can upgrade something, I will. Like, I have a trade out to Jason. I know we're an hour and 45 minutes in, so people probably aren't listening right now.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we're an hour and 45 minutes in.
Wow.
So... Jonathan Taylor. So here, I'm just going to say it to you. I have an offer out to Jason. Patrick Mahomes, DeAndre Swift, and Travis Kelce for Jonathan Taylor and Rodney Gadsden, which really for Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
Because I'd drop Gadsden and pick up someone else. But that would give me Malik Willis and Jackson Dart, which, yes, isn't great, but both rushing upside. So Malik Willis and Jackson Dart. And then Barkley, CMC, and Jonathan Taylor. Yeah. And it would help me and Jason out because Jason needs that quarterback and he's getting Swift.
It's an overpay.
On my part?
Yeah. It's a fair deal for Jason. Because looking at his other route, like I said, is going for Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm probably am overpaying.
I'm not putting all my eggs in CJ Stroud though.
Correct. Like I'm going Patrick. So I'm looking at it as Patrick Mahomes and Swift for Jonathan Taylor. Because
why are you including Kelsey?
There's a tight end on the waivers that's going to be a top 10 tight end in the league, and that I wanted to draft, but I went with Kelsey just because I can get the stack. But there's also quarterbacks that I'd pick up. There's a quarterback that I'd pick up as well on the waivers.
So the only quarterbacks left to pick up is Beck with Brissett, or
the Browns the Browns, yeah.
And when they announced Deshaun was starting week 1, but
Shedeur is starting week 2.
Exactly. It's like, okay, that starting quarterback is going to be picked up almost immediately. And Correct. In our league, if he's just like right now, anybody could pick him up at any time.
Yep. So it's who sees it first.
Yeah, because he's been just sitting there. He hasn't been drafted, and waivers have already cleared. So it's these teams with one quarterback, and that's why I went with mine. When I had Williams and Tyler, and the next pick comes around, I saw Goff was still sitting there. I'm like, you know what? I'm taking him.
Yeah. My thing is, I just don't think Mahomes is really going to be phenomenal this year. And his playoff schedule is the Patriots, the Niners, and the Chargers. I take that back if anybody's listening. So correct. So and if I could get Barkley, JT, and CMC with Smitty, Garrett Wilson, T. Higgins, it
changes the look of your team completely.
Correct.
Not that Swift is bad. He's definitely a downgrade from Jonathan Taylor, but adding in a quarterback.
And then I have Jonathan Brooks. If he becomes the true one, I have Brooks and Chris Rodriguez as my depth pieces for RB.
So, but anybody that's listening, we do have to say this. Sean traded the 1.02 for a third round pick and others. He would be trading the 1.08 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the seventh round pick.
There was no need for that. There's
we have to throw it out there in case anyone listens to this.
We can't
say
no one would have thought of that.
Someone did.
No, yeah, you. That's you saying you don't want me to get Jonathan Taylor. Yeah, I saw that. That's insane work. So you're scared if I got Jonathan Taylor, is what you just said to me in the league. So you think I have the best team in the league?
Oh, I think I do.
No, you don't.
I think I have the deepest team.
No. All right, when do we play each other, bro?
10 or something.
Why do you know that? You're so scared.
No, because we looked it up at the draft.
I didn't.
Or no, I looked it up after I loaded the teams.
Week 8. Oh my God, week 8. I have no Dart or CMC, and you got everybody. Don't worry, I got Jonathan Taylor.
I won't have Olave.
That's it. That's literally it. And Shuck.
Yeah.
So that's good. But you have Goff and Caleb.
Williams.
But Caleb against us in primetime.
And the 1.11.
I don't get that. Yeah.
Well, cool. That was I did not realize we've been on the call for an hour and 45 minutes.
So I'll give them two breakdowns. I'll say NFC division talk for about an hour and 5 minutes.
Can you do your time?
Like, can I break it up?
Not break it up, but say at the.
Oh yeah, that's what I'll tell you. Yeah, I'll do that. For sure.
Because then they'll listen to the smack talk of the draft.
Correct. And I think that's going to be more enjoyable for them.
And then ignore the last 5
Yeah, that ass. All right, but
wait, Landon, why you cut this part off? Why'd you edit this part? No, we just stopped recording.
but I mean, it does help both of us.
Yeah.
So, but ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate y'all for listening. Thank you so much. We are signing out. Peace and love. I hope y'all have a great rest of your night. I hope you have a good day if you're watching this during the day. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it. You got another week down, 1 week closer to the season.
Hey, 3.5 weeks, and we're in Seattle.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can't wait.
I can't.